Hello everyone. My name is Shelby. Welcome back to my channel, Grace with Books. Today I am so excited to be sharing with you my March plan with me for my reading journal. I am so excited for March because this March I am hosting a readathon with my very good friend Allie over at Dreamer with a Book called the Forever Romance Readathon. This readathon is basically to enjoy and encourage reading romance outside the month of February. Our readathon is going to be taking place throughout the month of March, but more on that later. In honor of the readathon, I decided to go with a head in the clouds theme for my reading journal. I found a bunch of really beautiful pink aesthetic photos on Pinterest, and I am layering them over each other right now for the mood board. I have a mix of pictures of pink clouds and roses and hearts and backgrounds. I even found a few really cute quotes, such as "Everything is better with you, everything has been better since you, and I love it when I catch you looking at me." I don't know, I just really wanted this entire page to feel like a dream, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. For my title page, I decided to go with a Polaroid border, and inside the Polaroid I have a little snapshot of a pink sky and white clouds. I think this goes really well with the whole head in the clouds theme, and as I mentioned earlier, it just looks really dreamy and I'm really happy with how it turned out. Moving on to my calendar spread, I have my usual one-page calendar grid, and I just like this because I don't really use this to track any assignments or like smaller events. This is literally just my overview of the month, so I like that it's kind of condensed into that one page. When I did my 2022 setup, I said I wanted to experiment more with mixed media, so I decided to print all my titles once again for this spread. I chose a really beautiful scripted font that I think just captures the theme very well, and then I drew some clouds around it. You will definitely notice that clouds are the main motif throughout this entire spread, and I think that the colors and the title just all complement each other really well. I put my events tab and my social media tracker and goals section at the bottom below the calendar, and that is it for the calendar page. Next up is my to be read and my days read page. On top we have my to be read, which is all the books that I want to read throughout the month of March. I just had to go back and quickly check a color palette thing. but I like being able to physically see the books that I'd like to read throughout the month, not only on my physical shelf, but on the shelf in my journal. Below that, I have my Days Read spread where I record all the days that I at least read a chapter in a book. I like looking at this because, first of all, it's kind of like a habit tracker, helping to make sure that I am on track with my reading, but it's also just like kind of nice to see at the end of the month how much I accomplished. I decided to create little tiny clouds as the number markers, and I like how it all turned out. I feel like I say that a lot in my journals, but I really do mean it. I'm really happy with this one. The next page in my journal is my content planning page where I record any ideas or to-do lists for YouTube and Instagram. I started this new kind of format this year and I'm really liking it because I just think there's just so much versatility in it. I can really put any thoughts and ideas I want into those boxes. And at the bottom, I just drew a bunch of little pink clouds. Going next to that is my general brainstorming page. I just did a few clouds at the top and left the rest of the page pretty blank because this is where I record any other random thoughts or ideas I have throughout the month. So while the content planning page is mostly focused on March, the brainstorming page can kind of look further. As I said earlier, I am hosting a readathon in the month of March with my friend Allie, and we are just so excited to be reading romance all month long with you guys. On this page, I have spaces to put down all of the Instagram and reading prompts, as well as my personal TBR and when we are hosting reading sprints on Instagram. I'm definitely excited for the sprints because that means I just get to kind of like actually read with you guys instead of just, reading by myself. And I always think it's more fun to read with other people. So I'm really excited for March and I really hope you'll be able to join us. The next page is my books read page where I record all the books I'm going to read in March. The first two columns are where I record my start date for the book and my end date for the book. The middle column is where I record the title and the author of the book, and the last two columns is where I record how many pages the book was and my final rating. I've been really liking this system. I like seeing all these different statistics, and it makes it really easy for me at the end of the month to tally up how many pages I read total in the month, as well as what I gave all these books. On the bottom, I added a little quote that says, "Distance gives us a reason to love harder," and put a little bit of washi tape on either side. The next page is my monthly favorites page. I have been really enjoying doing this every month because, as I said a lot, I think that this is just a really great way at the end of the year to look back on what you enjoyed. I always feel like I forget what I had been watching and reading and doing when it gets towards the end of the year, so it's kind of nice to have this to look back on. At the bottom, I added just 3 more photos that I didn't use in the mood board, and I think it looks really cute. Finally, we have my book of the month page. This is where I put down my absolute favorite book of the month and record the title, author, rating, and write my review. I have only started doing this kind of page this year, and I am really loving it so far. I think it's just a great way to end the spread. I added some more pink clouds around the Polaroid, and I'm just really excited to find out what book is going to go in that slot in March. So that is the last page. Now we are going to go to the final flip through. As I said, I just think this entire spread looks like an absolute dream. I am so happy with how the colors turned out. I added numbers to the calendar, and I also realized I didn't like the pink outline on the bookshelf, so I turned that to black. I just added a few more little details here and there, a few more stars, but overall, I mean, this turned out great. I'm really happy with how it looks, and I'm just so excited to use this throughout the month and to read with you guys for the Readathon. So if you guys like this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Hit the notification bell to get updates on when I post. I post every single week, and I am so excited to see you guys in my next video. Bye!